If you enjoy stories about unfaithful husbands, this channel is for you. Leave a like and support us by subscribing to the channel. I found the earring on a Tuesday. Not in the laundry, not in the car, in our bedroom, wedged between the nightstand and the wall on his side of the bed. A delicate silver hoop, small, tasteful, not mine. I held it between my fingers, turning it slowly under the lamp. My heart didn't race. I didn't cry. I just stood there, feeling something cold settle in my chest. "Babe, have you seen my charger?" Ryan called from downstairs. I dropped the earring into my pocket. "Check the kitchen." We'd been married 6 years, together for 9. I'm 32. He's 35. We live in a 3-bedroom house in Riverside, California, the kind of neighborhood where people mow their lawns on Saturdays and wave to each other at Costco. I'm a graphic designer working from home. He's a physical therapist at Riverside Regional Medical Center. Good jobs, good life, or so I thought. The earring wasn't the first thing. 3 months ago, I noticed he started showering immediately after work, every single day. "Long day, need to wash off the hospital smell," he'd say, kissing my forehead before disappearing upstairs. Then came the phone, face down on every surface, password changed without telling me. "Work stuff, patient privacy regulations," he explained when I asked. Last month I found a receipt in his jacket pocket. Dinner at the Watershed, an upscale restaurant we'd never been to together. 127s, 2 entrees, 2 glasses of wine, chocolate lava cake for dessert, client appreciation dinner, he said smoothly when I asked. Boring insurance rep. I wanted to believe him. God, I wanted to believe him. But now, standing in our bedroom with another woman's earring burning a hole in my pocket, I couldn't pretend anymore. I walked to his closet. His work shirts hung neatly. I ironed them every Sunday while watching Netflix. I checked the pockets methodically. Nothing in the first 3. The 4th had a folded post-it note. "Tonight was amazing. I miss you already. Why? Not me. My name is Emma." I heard Ryan's footsteps on the stairs. I shoved the note back, closed the closet, and walked into the bathroom. I stared at my reflection. Dark blonde hair pulled into a messy bun, no makeup, wearing his old college sweatshirt. Who was she? How long? And why did I already know the answers would destroy me? The call came at 2:47 a.m. I was still awake, lying in the dark beside Ryan, staring at the ceiling. The earring and the note were hidden in my desk drawer downstairs. I hadn't confronted him yet. I needed more proof. I needed to understand. His phone buzzed on the nightstand. Once, twice, 3 times. He didn't move. "Ryan?" I shook his shoulder. "Your phone." He groaned, reaching for it blindly. The screen lit his face. I saw his eyes widen before he sat bolt upright. "What? When?" His voice went sharp. "I'm on my way." He was out of bed, pulling on jeans, grabbing his keys. "What's wrong?" I asked. "Accident on the 91. Multi-car pileup. Hospitals calling in extra staff." He kissed my forehead. "Quick. Distracted. Go back to sleep. I'll text you." The door slammed. His truck roared to life. I lay there, heart pounding. Was it real? Or was he going to her? 3 hours later, my phone rang. Unknown number. "Mrs. Carter?" A woman's voice, professional but strained. "This is Riverside Regional. Your husband was involved in a vehicle collision on his way to the hospital. You need to come immediately." The room tilted. The ICU smelled like disinfectant and fear. Ryan lay motionless, tubes snaking from his arms, a ventilator breathing for him. His face was swollen, bruised purple and yellow. The doctor, young, exhausted, explained. "Severe concussion, internal bleeding, induced coma. We'll know more in 48 hours, he said gently. I sat beside Ryan's bed, holding his limp hand. All the anger, the suspicion, it evaporated. This was my husband, the man I'd built a life with. "Please," I whispered, "please don't leave me." On the 2nd day, cramping started. Sharp, vicious pains in my lower abdomen. The ER doctor was kind but direct. "Mrs. Carter, I'm sorry. You were 6 weeks pregnant. The stress, the trauma, your body couldn't sustain it. I miscarried in a hospital bathroom while my husband lay in a coma 3 floors above. Ryan woke on day 5. His eyes found mine, confused, frightened. I squeezed his hand. "You're okay," I told him, tears streaming. "You're going to be okay. Emma." His voice was raspy from the breathing tube. "What happened?" "Car accident. You've been unconscious for 5 days. His face crumpled. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's not your fault." "No." He gripped my hand harder. "I'm sorry for everything. For not being the husband you deserve. I want to change. I want us to start over. I thought about the earring, the note, but I also thought about the baby we'd lost, the fragility of life. Okay, I whispered. We'll start over. I wanted to believe him. God help me, I wanted to believe him. Ryan came home 3 weeks later. The doctors said he'd need physical therapy for his leg, fractured femur, pins and screws holding it together. He moved slowly, wincing with each step. I'd converted the guest room downstairs into a temporary bedroom so he wouldn't have to manage the stairs. I can do it, he insisted, but I saw the pain in his eyes. Let me take care of you, I said. The miscarriage hung between us like smoke. We didn't talk about it. The doctor said we could try again in 3 months, but something inside me had shifted. Every time I walked past the empty nursery we'd started planning, my chest tightened. On a Thursday afternoon, someone knocked on our door. A woman stood on the porch. Early 30s, athletic build, honey blonde hair pulled into a sleek ponytail. She wore navy scrubs and carried a professional medical bag. Mrs. Carter, I'm Sarah Mitchell, home health nurse from Riverside Regional. I'm here for Ryan's in-home care sessions. My stomach dropped. I didn't know they were sending someone. Insurance approved it yesterday. Didn't Ryan mention it? He must have forgotten. I forced a smile. Please, come in. Sarah moved through our house with unsettling familiarity. Like she'd been here before, like she knew where things were. She sat up in the guest room, chatting pleasantly about Ryan's recovery plan, exercise regimen, medication schedule. Ryan's face when he saw her. Something flickered there. Relief? Recognition? Sarah's been great, he said quickly. She handled my case at the hospital during recovery. I see. I stayed in the doorway, watching her adjust his pillows, check his vitals. Her hands were confident, gentle. She laughed at something he said. Too familiar, too comfortable. Over the next week, Sarah came 3 times. Always professional, always warm, always making me feel like an outsider in my own home. You're lucky to have such a dedicated husband, she told me one afternoon. Most men wouldn't fight this hard to recover. I am lucky, I said flatly. On Friday, Ryan brought it up over dinner. Takeout Chinese, his favorite. I need to tell you something. His voice was careful. I spoke with Dr. Reynolds again yesterday about the miscarriage. My fork stopped halfway to my mouth, and the damage was more severe than they initially thought. You can't have children, Emma. I'm so sorry. Wait, they said we could try again in 3 months. New test results came back. Permanent scarring. He reached across the table. But I've been thinking, what if we adopted? There are so many kids who need families. The room went silent except for the kitchen clock ticking. Something in his tone felt rehearsed. Too smooth, too prepared. Let me think about it, I whispered. But Ryan was already smiling, relieved, eager, too eager. Sarah brought the boy on a Tuesday. I was working in my home office when I heard voices in the living room. Ryan's, Sarah's, and a child's high-pitched laughter. I walked out to find a little boy, maybe 4 years old, sitting on our couch between them. Dark curly hair, bright hazel eyes, gap-toothed smile. He wore a striped shirt and tiny sneakers that lit up when he kicked his feet. Emma, Ryan's face was radiant. Come meet someone special. The boy looked up at me with curious eyes. This is Tyler, Sarah said warmly. He's in the foster system. I volunteer with the agency. And when Ryan mentioned you two were considering adoption, she smiled. Tyler needs a family. My throat tightened. You brought a child here without discussing it with me first? I wanted to surprise you, Ryan said quickly. Just meet him. No pressure. Tyler slid off the couch and walked straight to Ryan, grabbing his hand. Daddy, can I see the backyard? My blood turned to ice. Daddy? I repeated. Sarah laughed. Bright, dismissive. Kids say the sweetest things. Tyler calls all the men he meets daddy. Don't you, sweetie? But Tyler wasn't looking at her. He was looking at Ryan with unmistakable familiarity. Sure, buddy, Ryan said, his voice strained. Let's go look at the yard. They walked out together, Tyler chattering about swing sets and dogs. I turned to Sarah. What is this? An opportunity. Her smile never wavered. Tyler's been in 3 foster homes. He's a wonderful child, but he needs stability. You and Ryan could provide that. We've been married 6 years. Ryan never mentioned wanting to volunteer with foster agencies. People change after trauma, Sarah said smoothly. The accident gave him perspective. Isn't that beautiful? Through the window, I watched Ryan crouch down to Tyler's level, ruffling his hair. The boy threw his arms around Ryan's neck. like they'd done it 1,000 times before. That night, after Sarah took Tyler back to the agency, Ryan was euphoric. "He's perfect, Emma. Did you see how happy he was? He called you Daddy. Kids do that. He knew you, Ryan." My voice shook. That wasn't a stranger meeting an adult. That was a child who knows you. Ryan's expression shuddered. "You're being paranoid." "Am I?" "The miscarriage messed with your head. I understand. But don't project your pain onto an innocent child who needs us." He left me standing in the kitchen, cold and alone. I pulled out my phone and texted my best friend, Jessica. "Something's very wrong. I need your help." She replied instantly, "I'm coming over tomorrow." Jessica arrived at noon with coffee and suspicion in her eyes. "Start from the beginning," she said, settling onto my couch. I told her everything. The earring, the note signed Y, the accident, the miscarriage, Sarah appearing out of nowhere, Tyler calling Ryan Daddy. Jessica's jaw tightened. "Emma, you need to trust your gut. Ryan says I'm paranoid, that the miscarriage affected me. Gaslighting 101. She pulled out her phone. "What's the nurse's full name?" "Sarah Mitchell." Her fingers flew across the screen. Minutes passed. Her face darkened. "There's no Sarah Mitchell registered as a nurse in California. I checked the state licensing board." The room tilted. "That's impossible. She works at Riverside Regional. Then she's using a fake name. Or she's not actually a nurse." Jessica grabbed my hand. "Something is very wrong here." That evening, Ryan announced Sarah would be bringing Tyler for a trial weekend. "Already?" My voice cracked. "We haven't even discussed adoption seriously. The agency thinks we're a perfect fit. Tyler's already attached to us." Ryan was packing the guest room with toys. A stuffed elephant, building blocks, children's books. "Where did he get these? When did you buy all this?" "Online. I wanted to be prepared." "Ryan, stop." I grabbed his arm. "We need to talk about Sarah." "What about her?" "She's not a registered nurse in California." His face went blank for 3 seconds. Then he laughed. Forced. Brittle. "That's ridiculous. Who told you that?" I checked myself. "Emma." He cupped my face with both hands. His voice soft, concerned. "Baby, I'm worried about you. You've been stressed, depressed since the miscarriage. Dr. Patel prescribed you something for anxiety, remember? Have you been taking it?" I had been. Small white pills, twice daily. Ryan picked them up from the pharmacy himself. "The medication can cause paranoia," he continued gently. "Confusion. You're seeing threats that aren't there." "I'm not confused. I love you. I'm trying to build us a family. Why are you fighting me?" Tears burned my eyes. Was I losing my mind? That night, I took my medication as usual. Within an hour, the room felt soft around the edges. My thoughts moved like honey. Slow, thick, hard to hold. I tried to text Jessica, but my fingers wouldn't cooperate. When I woke the next morning, Tyler was in our house. Ryan sat at the kitchen table, making the boy breakfast. Chocolate chip pancakes. Tyler swung his legs, chattering happily. "Mommy!" Tyler saw me and waved. "Not Emma, Mommy." Ryan smiled. "Good morning, sweetheart. How'd you sleep?" I couldn't remember. The pills made everything fuzzy. I'd wake up and hours would be missing. I'd find myself in rooms with no memory of walking there. Conversations happened around me like I was underwater. Tyler stayed. Days blurred into a week. He called Ryan Daddy constantly. He called me Mommy, but it felt wrong, coached, unnatural. And Sarah was always here, making meals, doing laundry, acting like she lived in my house, just helping out during the transition, she'd say with that perfect smile. One afternoon, I found her in my bedroom. "What are you doing?" My voice came out sharper than I intended. She was folding clothes, Ryan's shirts, my jeans. "Just tidying up. You've seemed overwhelmed lately. Get out of my room." Her smile never faltered. Of course, I didn't mean to overstep, but as she left, I saw her glance at Ryan's nightstand, where he kept his phone at night. The anger came in waves. I'd be fine one moment, then suddenly furious, screaming at Ryan over nothing, throwing a coffee mug at the wall because he forgot to buy milk, sobbing in the bathroom for hours. "It's the medication," Ryan said calmly, cleaning up shattered ceramic. "Dr. Patel warned us about mood swings." "I don't remember Dr. Patel saying that. You were very upset that day. You weren't listening." Had I been upset? I couldn't remember the appointment clearly. Jessica called twice. I missed both calls. When I tried to call back, my phone was dead. The charger was missing. "Probably misplaced it," Ryan said. "I'll grab you a new one tomorrow." He never did. I stopped taking the pills. I hid them under my tongue, spit them out when no one was looking. Within 2 days, the fog began to lift, and I started noticing things. The way Sarah touched Ryan's shoulder when she thought I wasn't looking. How Tyler had Ryan's exact smile, the crooked left dimple. The photograph on Sarah's phone screen when it lit up. Her and Ryan, close together, smiling at the camera. I waited until they thought I was napping, then crept to Ryan's office. His laptop was locked, but I knew his passwords, our anniversary, backwards. It opened. His email was a minefield. Messages from Sarah going back 4 years. Dozens. Hundreds. I can't wait to see you tonight. Tyler asked about you again. When can we tell him? Miss you already. Love you always. Your Yoni. Yoni. The note I'd found months ago signed Y. It was her. Her pet name for herself. My hands shook as I scrolled. Photos. Sarah pregnant. Ryan's hand on her swollen belly. Tyler as a newborn. Ryan holding him in a hospital room. 4 years. He'd had a son with her for 4 years. And now they were trying to make me adopt him. I took screenshots of everything. Every email, every photo, every text message thread I could find. My hands trembled as I worked, listening for footsteps. Tyler's birth certificate was in a folder labeled Legal Documents. Father, Ryan James Carter. Mother, Sarah Lynn Mitchell. Date of birth, March 14th, 2022. 4 years old. Born during our marriage. I emailed everything to myself, then deleted the sent message from his account, cleared the browser history, closed the laptop exactly how I'd found it. When I stood up, Sarah was in the doorway. Emma, her voice was ice. What are you doing? Looking for chargers. Mine still missing. We stared at each other. Her mask finally slipped. I saw calculation in her eyes. Cold assessment. You should be resting. The medication... I'm not taking it anymore. Her expression hardened. That's not wise. Dr. Patel specifically prescribed. There is no Dr. Patel, is there? My voice was steady now, clear. Just like you're not really a registered nurse. Sarah's smile was thin, sharp. You're confused. I have proof. Emails, photos, birth certificate. I know Tyler is Ryan's son. I know you two have been together for 4 years. For a moment, she said nothing. Then she pulled out her phone. Ryan, we have a problem. He was home in 15 minutes. They cornered me in the kitchen. Ryan blocking the door to the garage. Sarah by the hallway. Emma, listen to me. Ryan's voice was calm, placating. You're not thinking clearly. The medication withdrawal is causing delusions. I saw the emails. I saw the photos. What emails? His face was perfectly innocent. Emma, you're scaring me. Maybe we should call Dr. Patel. Stop lying. I grabbed my phone from my pocket. I have proof. I sent it to myself. Ryan's hand shot out, snatching the phone from my grip. Hey, give that back. You're not well. He held it above my reach. Sarah, call the crisis line. Emma needs professional help. I need my phone. You need intervention. Sarah was already dialing. Before you hurt yourself. Or Tyler. Ice flooded my veins. I would never hurt a child. Wouldn't you? Ryan's eyes were cold now. The mask finally dropped. You've been violent, erratic, making wild accusations. We have documentation, medical records, Tyler's foster care reports showing your instability. That's insane. No, Emma, you're insane. And you're going to sign adoption papers for Tyler, or we'll have you committed. Those are your options. Sarah held up a document. Adoption consent forms. My signature line blank. Choose wisely, she said softly. The room closed in around me, but I still had one card left. I already sent the evidence to someone else. I lied. If anything happens to me, it goes to the police. Ryan's jaw tightened. Who? I smiled coldly. Figure it out. They locked me in the guest room. Just until you calm down, Ryan said through the door. For your own safety. I heard Tyler crying in the living room. Where's Mommy going? She's just resting, buddy. She's not feeling well. My laptop was gone. My phone was gone. But they'd missed something. My old iPad, buried in the closet under winter clothes. I powered it on, praying it still had battery. 12%. I opened email with shaking fingers and composed a message to Jessica. 911. Ryan's son with mistress. They're holding me. Guest room. Come now. Bring police. Have proof. Sent. 8% battery remaining. I attached the screenshots I'd emailed myself earlier. Dozens of photos, the birth certificate, email threads. Jessica's reply came within seconds. OMG. On my way, 20 minutes, calling my lawyer cousin. Do not sign anything. 5%. I heard Sarah's voice outside the door. She's been quiet too long. Check on her. The lock clicked. I shoved the iPad under the mattress and sat on the bed, arms crossed. Ryan stepped in, cautious. Emma, we need to talk reasonably. About how you've been cheating on me for 4 years. How you had a child with another woman during our marriage. How you're drugging me and trying to steal my house. It's not like that. Then what is it like, Ryan? He sat on the edge of the bed, running his hands through his hair. For a moment, he looked broken. I didn't mean for it to happen. Sarah and we met at the hospital. You were always working, buried in your designs. I felt invisible. She paid attention. She listened. So you had an affair. I tried to end it when she got pregnant. I told her we couldn't keep seeing each other. But then Tyler was born, and his voice cracked. He's my son, Emma. I can't abandon him. Then divorce me. Be with her honestly. It's not that simple. His eyes hardened. This house is in both our names. My pension, savings, everything we built. You'd take half. Tyler deserves better than a broken home and poverty. The truth crystallized. You want me to adopt him so you can have your son legitimized, keep your assets, and look like a hero husband who stayed through tragedy. I want us all to be a family. By forcing me. By giving you purpose. He leaned closer. You lost our baby. Tyler needs a mother. This could heal you. You're insane. Sign the papers, Emma. Or I'll have you committed. Take the house and you'll have nothing. Outside, a car door slammed. Jessica's voice rang out. Emma! Ryan's face went white. Ryan lunged for the door, but I was faster. I shoved past him, screaming. Jessica, I'm here! Sarah appeared in the hallway, grabbing my arm. You need to calm down. I twisted free, adrenaline flooding my system. Get off me! The front door burst open. Jessica stormed in with a tall man in a suit, her cousin, the lawyer, and 2 police officers behind them. Mrs. Carter? The older officer, badge reading Hernandez, stepped forward. Are you all right? They locked me in a room. They're trying to force me to sign adoption papers. Ryan emerged, hands raised, voice smooth. Officers. My wife is having a mental health crisis. She's been off her medication. We were trying to keep her safe. Bullshit. Jessica thrust her phone at Officer Hernandez. I have emails, photos, and a birth certificate proving this man has been having an affair for 4 years. And that child in there is his biological son, not a foster kid. The lawyer handed over printed documents. Ryan Carter and Sarah Mitchell have been falsifying adoption records to defraud my client of marital assets and parental rights under false pretenses. Sarah's face drained of color. That's not true, Ryan said quickly. Emma's confused. She's been making wild accusations. I have proof, I interrupted. Screenshots, emails, photos of you and Sarah together. Tyler's birth certificate listing you both as parents. It's all documented. Officer Hernandez looked at Sarah. Ma'am, do you have identification? She hesitated. I left my purse. Because you're not a registered nurse, are you? Jessica cut in. Sarah Lynn Mitchell doesn't exist in the California nursing database. Want to tell us your real credentials? I volunteer. Stop talking. The lawyer's voice was sharp. Officer, I'm formally requesting a paternity test for the minor child present and a full investigation into potential fraud, kidnapping, and unlawful detention. Tyler appeared in the living room doorway, clutching his stuffed elephant, eyes wide with fear. Daddy? The second officer knelt down gently. Hey, buddy, it's okay. What's your last name? Carter, Tyler said quietly. Tyler Carter. Ryan's face crumbled. Sir, Officer Hernandez said, we're going to need you to come down to the station. Wait, now. Sarah bolted for the back door. She made it 3 steps before the younger officer caught her arm. Ma'am, don't make this harder. 2 weeks later, the paternity test results arrived. Tyler Carter. Father. Ryan James Carter. Probability. 99.98%. My lawyer slid the document across his desk. We have everything we need for divorce proceedings. Adultery, fraud, emotional abuse. You'll get the house, majority assets, and he'll owe you substantial compensation. I stared at the paper. Scientific proof of 4 years of lies. What happens to Tyler? That's between Ryan and Sarah. He's not your responsibility. But I thought about that little boy, caught in the middle of his parents' deception. Innocent. The divorce took 6 months. Ryan fought it initially, hired an expensive lawyer, claimed I was mentally unstable, tried to paint himself as the devoted husband caring for his sick wife, but the evidence was overwhelming. Emails spanning 4 years, financial records showing he'd been funneling money to Sarah, our money, marital funds, to pay for an apartment, Tyler's daycare, even a car in her name. The judge wasn't sympathetic. I got the house, 70% of our assets, his pension contributions during the marriage, half, and a significant cash settlement for emotional damages and fraud. Ryan was ordered to pay child support for Tyler, to Sarah, not me. She'd moved back to Arizona with the boy. Her nursing credentials revoked after investigation revealed she'd been working with a forged license. The hospital fired Ryan for ethics violations. Last I heard, he was working at a small clinic in Barstow, sharing a 1-bedroom apartment with a rotating schedule to see his son every other weekend. The man who'd had everything lost it all. Jessica helped me pack up Ryan's remaining belongings, boxes of clothes, his college trophies, photo albums I didn't want to see. "How are you really doing?" she asked, taping up the last box. "Better than I expected." I looked around the house. My house now. I thought I'd feel angrier. But mostly I feel free. "You should. You're a badass who took down 2 con artists." I smiled. I had help. I redecorated the guest room, the one they'd turned into Tyler's temporary space, painted the walls sage green, set up a proper office with a new desk and ergonomic chair. My graphic design business had grown during the divorce. Turned out, channeling rage into creativity was excellent marketing. Some nights I still found myself angry. At the 4 years stolen, the baby I'd lost while he was building a secret family, the gaslighting that nearly broke me. But then I'd wake up in my own house, in my own bed, with no one to answer to. I'd make coffee exactly how I liked it. Strong, no sugar, splash of oat milk. I'd work on projects I chose, meet friends without permission, travel when I wanted. One morning, 8 months after the divorce was finalized, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. "Emma?" Ryan's voice, small and broken. "I need to talk to you. Sarah left me, took Tyler. I'm struggling financially. I thought maybe we could..." I hung up, blocked the number, deleted it from my call history. Then I stood on my back porch, watching the sunrise paint the sky gold and pink. A client email arrived. A major campaign, 6-figure contract. I smiled and opened my laptop. Emma Carter, survivor, businesswoman, free. Ryan had tried to destroy me to hide his lies. Instead, he'd freed me to build something infinitely better, and I'd never answer his calls again. Thank you for watching until the end. Your support is very important. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.